Oh my lord. What's up guys, it's Hyder and I'm back with another one. Today I'm going to be counting down my top 10 albums of 2023. I was listening to a lot of music this year. I didn't quite get to as much from this year as I wanted, but these are my top 10 picks. Let's get into it. So number 10, we're starting off with the brand new Wednesday record, Rat Saw God. I had never heard of this band before checking out this album. It's like a mix of country, indie, shoegaze, rock, whatever, but the sound of this was just amazing. There's even a 9-minute long track on there called Bold Believer that doesn't even get boring for a second. Other than Bold Believer, a second favorite of mine was Turkey Vultures, also another banger off this album. Number 9, we got The Record by Boy Genius. People are loving this album this year. I thought it was really good. I still have yet to go back and give it another listen. Before listening to this album, the only member of this band I had listened to before was Julian Baker, so I'm really glad I finally got into this album early this year because I went through Phoebe Bridgers' music as well. My favorite tracks off of this album were easily $20 and Emily I'm Sorry. Emily I'm Sorry especially ripped my soul out a few times. On to the next one. Number 8, we're going with Mid-Air by Paris, Texas. I've been following Paris, Texas for a while, ever since their mixtape Boy Anonymous dropped. The first track I ever checked out was Heavy Metal, so I was really excited to see what they could really do with like a full-length project, and I think they delivered pretty much everything I wanted. This record front to back has so much energy, it's extremely raw, just like the stuff I had heard from them before, and yeah, there's like no skips on this whole album. Everything is great, everything sounds great. It has that punk energy to it, but we also get some chill tracks in the mix. The song Airborne off this was my favorite off the whole album. If you're into more gritty kind of rap / punk rock, definitely check this out. Number 7 goes to Quaranta by Danny Brown. This just recently came out. It's been quite a long wait since Danny's last album, but I've been waiting eagerly, especially getting on to Atrocity Exhibition this year. I was really excited to see what he was going to do, especially after getting sober, and he definitely delivers on this project. It's very dark, it's very introspective, but I really love this. He sounds so different here, and it's definitely his like most mature project to date. It was really interesting going through this album to hear about his place in the music industry, the good, the bad. He mostly leaves his older styles behind and we get more jazzy cuts. There are a few tracks here that kind of call back to his more experimental days with Tantor and Dark Sword Angel, but mostly it's a very laid back album, much more lyrical and conscious. I'm just really loving the direction he went with this. My favorite track on this was Shakedown, definitely just an incredible vibe on that song. Loving the vocals, loving the rapping. I'm just really excited to see what he does next. On to the next one, number 6. We're going with JPEG Mafia and Danny Brown's Scaring the Hoes. This was my favorite rap project of the entire year. I've actually absolutely been loving this album. The production is insane. The rapping is insane. Both Danny Brown and JPEG Mafia complement each other so well. The samples are absolutely incredible. I love everything about this album. I'm really loving this so much. It definitely deserves to be in your top 10 of 2023. That Khalees sample is just unhinged. I love it so much. It goes absolutely nuts. And if you haven't heard this yet, go check it out. You need to. Number 5 goes to Underscore's Wall Socket. I was extremely hyped for this. The last Underscore's album I really enjoyed, but I felt like there was something missing, something I didn't quite get, something that didn't really click with me, and this new album is the complete opposite. Underscores has just outdone themselves with this album. Everything is upgraded from production to vocals to song structure, just the writing, lyrics, everything from hyperpop bangers to acoustic tracks, hillbilly banjo music, and pumping dance tracks. And sometimes all of these can even be found in one track. With this album, I didn't really feel overwhelmed like I kind of did with Fishmonger in terms of like the goofiness, like glitchiness, like over the top kind of stuff. Everything here like melted together perfectly, and I just love this front to back. Great album. If you've never heard of Underscores, go check this out for sure. Number 5, I'm going with Lahai by Sampha. I was extremely hyped for this. It's been a long time since Sampha's dropped, since 2017 I think was his last project, and I started listening to him in about 2020, but wow, this album delivers on literally every single box. This thing is warm and it is beautiful. The vocals are absolutely incredible. The instrumentals are gorgeous. Something about Sampha's music is so simple yet so complex. It's so perfectly done with so much artistic vision that it's so hard to explain. This album sounds so good, and if you have not heard this or heard any of Sampha's music, you need to go listen to this right now. If I'm gonna recommend you one album for this entire list, it's this one. Go check it out right now. Number 3, Desire, I Want to Turn Into You by Caroline Polachek. This is an incredible album. I love the theming of it. Caroline's vocals are absolutely incredible. Ever since checking out Pain, I've just wanted more and more of her music, and she 100% delivered on this album with quality. There is no skips on this at all, and it's some of her most diverse work to date and some of her best vocal performances. This thing is dreamy, it's danceable, it incorporates 80s elements with melodies and 90s dance beats, drum and bass elements, and I'm just loving this album so much. I just recently re-listened to it and I'm loving it even more, and it grows on me with every single listen. So definitely check this out. We're down to the number 2 spot. My number 2 album of 2023 is going to be Dog's Body by Model Actress. I actually put off listening to this for a while, and I wish I didn't, because this album is amazing. I literally just listened to this like last week, and it's my number 2 of the year. I haven't really listened to much industrial music or whatever this genre is. These guys are incredible, especially for a debut album. I am absolutely obsessed with this. It's pretty much a perfect album to me. These guys somehow managed to deliver some of the heaviest music I've heard in a while, and then completely 180 flip into some of the most gorgeous stuff I've heard, with tracks like Sleepless and Sun In nearly making me cry. Actually, I cried on Sleepless. Wow, this album is insane. It's an extremely fun ride. There are some moments that straight up sound like they're out of a horror movie. This thing is obsessed, it is narcissistic, and I'm loving this so far. Definitely give this a listen. And my number 1, Census Designated by Jane Remover. This album instantly became one of my favorite albums of all time. With their first album, Frailty, it wasn't exactly my favorite album I ever heard. I also listened to that this year. It felt a little cluttered to me. It was a little bit all over the place. It didn't really have like a central theme, I felt, but this new album completely throws all of that out. I mean, what a change in pace from like the glitchy hyperpop stuff. Pretty much delving into fully shoegaze with every track, slightly mixing in those electronic elements, which I think melds perfectly here. This is legitimately some of the best shoegaze I've heard in a while. I've recently started getting into shoegaze about a little over a year ago, but even some of the top albums I've listened to, like Loveless by My Bloody Valentine, and even Slow Dives, whatever, however you pronounce that album, they haven't really clicked that hard with me. But something about this Jane Remover album, just instantly I knew that I was going to fall in love with this album, and I definitely have. This is easily the best thing I've heard all year, and if you're into shoegaze, rock, or anything, all of the above, especially some electronic elements in here, you definitely need to give this a listen. I'm just super excited to see where Jane Remover goes with this. I know whatever it is, it's gonna blow my mind. My favorite track off of this was Contingency Song, but really I could pick pretty much any song off of this album. They're all amazing. Yeah, I just can't stop listening to this album. Go listen to it now. Well, that's it for the list. Thank you guys so much for checking this out. Let me know what your top albums of the year were. Leave a like if you want to see more lists from me if you like this video. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Peace.